Bom dia, boa tarde ou boa noite e bem-vindos ao PokerStars Championship Bahamas, o primeiro do seu género, e continuamos as nossas entrevistas com os Team PokerStars Pro, agora com alguém vindo da Ásia, Celina Lin. Hello.
Hi, hello. How's everybody doing?
I'll start to ask you in your Bahamian outfit. It's my first time here, so you could point me out something I should not miss or something I should avoid.
Okay, I think that things you shouldn't miss, which I did miss last year, was swimming with the pigs. So if you get a chance to do that, it's probably one of the amazing things, because apparently what I got told was a bunch of sailors came to the Bahamas area with pigs that they were going to use, for meat and stuff. And then when they left, they just left the pigs behind, and they just kind of like grew into maybe, I think, a family of like 20 pigs, and then just kind of swim around the islands, and you go up to them, you can feed them and so forth. So I think that's like something that you don't get a lot, anywhere else in the world. So that's definitely something you shouldn't miss. Things you should avoid, maybe drunken poker players.
But that's not exclusive for the Bahamas.
No, it's not. I think that we're seeing a lot of players like their drinks on the table and so forth, and it's going to be a great players party as well.
Yeah, but that's good for those that want to earn chips, no?
It is. Some players say they play better with a few drinks.
Yeah.
It's debatable.
Yeah, it's arguable. Yeah. So about 2016, it's the perfect time in the year to make some balances. So what's your best moment, and if you have a lowest point?
Well, towards the end of 2016 at ACOP in Macau, I actually won my second Spadey, and I was the first person to do that. So I would say that was my highest moment. But obviously throughout that journey, the last time I had won a trophy was about, I would say, 3 years ago. And I've come across many, many final tables during that period. But as a poker player, it's just always really disappointing, It's like for everyone making DP tournament, you almost essentially feel like maybe there's only one person that's really happy, and that's the winner himself, right? Him or herself. But anybody who comes second, third, you go back to your room and sometimes you're like, okay, could I have played some hand differently? What could I have done differently? Did I make mistakes? And you're always analysing, and sometimes you're over-analysing. And at times where you're going through a rough patch, you might start to doubt your game. So for me, I think that, going towards 2017, my outlook really is, I definitely enjoy my tournaments very much. Traveling around the world, it's amazing for me. But also when I go to these poker stops now, I take a couple of days and I really enjoy the city I'm visiting. So to me, I'm like, okay, you know what? If poker goes well, great. I've got extra spending money, right? If poker doesn't do well, it's like, I get to do this amazing thing that I've always wanted to do coming into poker, which was travel the world.
Yeah, grow in other ways except not economically.
Exactly. But I mean, to me, I'm just kind of thinking that a lot of people think about traveling is something you do after you retire. But I think about it as in terms of when you have your health, where you can climb the mountains, where you can swim in the waters, why not do it when you're young, when you have so much energy and so much fire for life.
Yeah, and it's a source of personal growth also. Let's go to the online aspect. Do you play lots of online poker?
I used to play plenty of online. Now I've become more of a live tournament player. I do like to still go back to the online environment, because what I realize is that a lot of players that you come across, whether it's live, or online, they always tend to seem to know the trend. And online is very much ahead of the trend most of the time. So what you see people doing online, and what, whether it's squeeze, whether it's under the gun raising and so forth, people start to counter these kind of tactical advantages these players tend to have. So for you to recognize this, you essentially have to practice your online skills, and you pick up how to do it much faster, because you're getting in a lot more hands when you're playing online.
Sure, that makes lots of sense. So, tying it up with Portugal, have you been there?
I've not been to Portugal, but I've lived in Macau for 7 years of my life, and that's a Portugal colony back in the day. So for me, I've seen a lot of culture as well. I love Portuguese Mecanese food as well. They have a lot of Portugal influence. I think that, I love what Macau is about, because it's got such a long, nice history of that Portugal influence. So I actually liked living in Macau so much more than, say, Vegas. I went to Vegas, I'm like, oh, Vegas is literally built as a casino city. But Macau wasn't like that. Macau had its own history and its own, buildings and monuments and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm curious about Macau because of being Portuguese, we heard a lot about it. It was a part of our country for a long time. It changed a lot since it changed the politics of it.
Right. I mean, you would see that, yes, it has changed a lot, but they haven't like forgotten it. You know, even if in the cuisine you have that Portuguese influence. You know, when you have these, you also have like a lot of people obviously speak Cantonese, but all the road signs and everything, they've stayed in Portuguese. And when you deal with the government and law papers and so forth, everything's still in Portuguese. Yeah, so I think that, you know, if you do visit there, you'll meet people who can actually speak fluent Portuguese as well. So yeah, it's probably a good city to visit. I mean, like we've got the PokerStars Championship Macau coming up, right? And that's a perfect time to visit.
It is a perfect time to visit. Let's see if I can go there. Thank you, Celina, for your couple of minutes and time. Best of luck in there, and hope to see you in Macau.
Definitely, I'll be jumping into day 1B of the main event tomorrow, so I hope you guys follow my progress, and see you guys at PokerStars Championship Macau.